So I'll just tell you a little bit about myself. I'm JPO. I'm the owner and artist of the Purple Posy. I am based out of West Texas. I actually just moved from Big Spring to Abilene. So now I am based out of Abilene, Texas, if anybody knows where that's at. I'm a content creator for Dixie Belle Paint Company, and I am a business coach and a creative mentor for my private membership group, Painting Over Borders. I am in my garage with 1,000 fans going because it's super hot and bugs flying everywhere at me. This is going to be my office desk. So all I did to prep it was I did a scuff sand on it with the rad pad in medium, and then I cleaned with white lightning, and I rinsed with vinegar water. It's kind of slick, so I'm kind of pushing the edge on needing slick stick a little bit. What I'm going to be working with today, so I don't know if y'all remember, I haven't staged it and posted on my page yet, but I did a Latin floral boho cabinet with you guys over a couple of weeks, and it's done. I just need to stage it and post it. But I'm pulling some of the colors that are out of there because I decided to keep it for my office area. So I'm going to be using muscadine wine. I got muscadine wine. I could not find my mermaid tail, which is on the cabinet, but I pulled the Gulf. It's pretty close. And this is just going to be like a peekaboo color showing through. And then I have some Rebel Yellow. Rebel Yellow and muscadine wine are probably my favorite combinations when you blend them together. They're absolutely beautiful. So that's what I've got pulled out. I am going to be using my vinegar water today. This is a 50-50 ratio. 50% white distilled vinegar, and then 50% water. And as usual, I've got my flat minis. These are my go-to brushes. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with the Gulf. I'm going to start with the Gulf with my round smock, and we're going to get it shoved up in all of these little crannies. Also, ew, there's bugs all around me. Ew. I want to put some Woodubend on here, but I can't find it. I'm not exactly sure where it's at. I want to put some that kind of maybe a cluster of flowers right here or something where it like breaks apart on the drawers. I don't know. All right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to get some of the Gulf into the little grooves here. I think we're going to be fine. I don't need slick stick. We're going to be just fine. Now this color is barely going to show because I'm going to do some blending. Can you all see? Yeah. I'm going to do some blending of the Rebel Yellow and the muscadine wine. So when you're doing this, you want to make sure and go over the part where the paint comes up right here and smooth it out, because if you don't, it's going to have a very obvious like start and stop line. So that's just a quick tip. I forgot to wet my brush. All right. So what's everybody working on? Is anybody painting with me today? And I want to know, what are your favorite color combinations? Like what color combinations in the Dixie Belle Chalk Mineral line or even the Silk line do you just absolutely love? Every time you see it, just makes your heart go, right? Because mine is definitely muscadine wine and Rebel Yellow. I did a dresser like 17 years ago with those colors. Just kidding, it was like 3 years ago. And it's one of my most popular pieces. It's one of those pins on Pinterest that gets pinned like 17 times a day. No joke, it's just going crazy on Pinterest. Everybody loves it. I love it. I almost wanted to keep it. But I've been keeping a lot of the furniture I've been painting lately, and it's really not something good to do. I don't know what I'm going to do with the legs just yet. So I'm going to leave the little, I'm going to leave them for now. I may do, I don't know, I'm going to get the body. I'm going to get the body done before I decide. I usually don't do the tops or legs kind of like this until I get the body painted, because it will kind of give me a general idea of where the piece is going and then what I can do after that. All right, I'm gonna spray this real quick so it doesn't dry out on me, and I'm gonna actually wrap it in a baby wipe since I've got so many fans going in there. All right, let me blast this real quick. I don't want the muscadine wine and the Rebel Yellow to blend with the Gulf. So let's start. Now I'm working out of my lids. I do not change brushes when I blend, don't yell at me. I work out of my lids because if I get the colors too muddled, I can just scoop out the lid and I'm good to go. This beetle will not leave me alone. Will not go away. All right, flat mini. Before you paint, you want to dampen your brush just a little bit. And let's go. We're adding in some Rebel Yellow. So when I'm doing this technique where I got like peekaboo colors coming through, you always want to start on a surface that's not going to have the color popping through, because if you do, you'll get a big old glob and it'll cover up the majority of that. Also, on my first go around, I'm not going to worry about the coverage, because when I come, or not the coverage, but if there's too much of the gulf showing through, I'm not going to worry about it, because on the second coat, that will get covered up even more. So I'm just going to get the Rebel Yellow on here, and I'm going to mist as I go, since it's pretty dry in here. Hot and dry. What's going to happen with the vinegar water? A lot of questions I know somebody's going to ask. The vinegar water pulls the paint apart. It kind of separates the paint, and it makes like holes, or it's just like a different kind of it's a very unique effect that it does on the paint. The paint doesn't like the vinegar water, so it just kind of pulls away from it. All right, I lied. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a little bit of muscadine wine on this brush, and I'm just grabbing about that much, and I'm gonna go ahead and blend some in right here. Now, nobody freak out. This is gonna be the ugly, like, teenage phase. You know, kind of awkward and don't really know. They're still trying to find themselves. And back to the Rebel Yellow. I really, like I said, I don't have a plan. I just knew I wanted to use these colors together. So look at that color it gives you when you blend the two. It's so pretty. I'm gonna add a little bit more here. I mean, I barely have anything on there, you see that? But I want to make that a little bit darker. Wow. I'm going to spritz just real lightly and let that kind of do its thing, and then I'll bring y'all in at the end and show you what the vinegar water does. I saw this desk and thought it would be perfect for me, just the style of it I was really drawn to. Let's get some muscadine wine. Right here. So if y'all have watched me regularly, sorry I canceled on y'all last week. I literally could not find my stuff. The people that were helping me move, we kind of stacked everything up in front of all my paint boxes, and I could not find anything. And I was trying to get to them on Sunday to get ready for my live, and I couldn't. I have too much stuff. I have way too much stuff. I'm trying to get rid of some stuff. So I want the bottom to be a little bit more heavy. Now on my second coat, I covered up a lot of the gulf down here, but what I can do on my second coat is go in with the gulf again. And you know what, I want to blend this way. Let's try this. We're just getting our base coat on right here. So this is a good time for you to really check your placement of your colors. Make sure you like the color combination. Because it's a little bit see-through-y right now. Okay, let's add in some more Rebel Yellow. I usually don't change brushes, but since I'm going from a red-ish to a really light purple, probably a good idea to switch. So when you're blending, you've got to make sure your paint stays very wet. Not very wet, but it needs to stay wet in order for it to blend. I don't care if I have like a super soft blend. I really kind of like the jagged, like right there, it's not blended real good, and I like it that way. I kind of like it that way. I'm going to add a little bit down here. It's so dry, it's so hot. I'm going back to, I'm not going to even put any paint on here, I'm just going to wet it. Probably what I'm going to do also is I'm going to grab my putty knife at some point, my little palette knife, and maybe do not really some faux distressing, but layer some colors on here. I've got a little secretary that I did, a little secretary desk that I did that way, and it looks so cool. I may do that. I don't know if that fan is loud. If it is, I'm sorry. So I'm just going back and forth, just layering and blending, and if it doesn't layer, I'm okay with that. Just to kind of get a general idea of where I'm wanting the colors placed. I'm really liking that. It looks pretty, it's not, what's the word? It gives it a lot of depth, I guess. And I love that you can still see a lot of the yellow here and the gulf. I love that part as well. This looks like there's a lot of layers there. I'm going to spritz the entire thing so the paint that is wet and set can start doing the vinegar water can start doing its thing. So really this process is just going back and forth, seeing what you like, what you don't like. I'm going to spray that down just a little bit, and we're going to move to this drawer over here. I'm going to let the vinegar water set up on that, and gosh, Let me go over here to the drawer. How about that? My phone is blowing up. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the Gulf. And I'm actually gonna pull the drawer out so I don't mess with that over there. And let's see what we can do in this drawer. The big challenge is gonna be figuring out what I wanna do on the inside. On the back, so the back is gonna show, my office is actually, the way my house is set up, my new house, the dining room is in a kind of an odd spot. So I'm using the dining room, which is, it's all open concept, but I'm using the dining room for my office area and staging. But I don't want to be staring at a wall. So I'm going to paint the back. I'll probably just do a solid color with some transfer. I don't know. Okay. Let's go back in with our Rebel Yellow. Let me see. Maybe that's better. I'm glowing. I have a nice glow. It's called, it's sweat. It's hot. Oh gosh. All right. So this is probably going to have the majority of the Rebel Yellow on there, with just a little bit of accents of the muscadine wine. Whoops. I'm going to get this on here and keep it pretty wet. Okay. Let's go in. Let's add some right here. You can always, if you're trying to get a really, really soft blend, I could take a brush that doesn't have any paint on it. It's called a neutral brush, and I can go over it with that, and it'll blend the colors together really nicely. But like I said, I'm not worried about it. I kind of like the funkiness of it. I don't want them harsh like that, but let me get the picture. My arm is gonna fall off. I'm so sore. I'm moving. And then I fell yesterday carrying a big old heavy box. I tripped on another one, and my knee is so banged up. It looks really bad. I'm wondering if I broke my kneecap, actually. I hate moving. Anybody else? I hate moving. More yellow. Going back to my Rebel Yellow. Add in some more. This is just our base coat, so remember that. This is not the final. I'm just kind of seeing where I want the majority of the muscadine wine, where I want the majority of the Rebel Yellow. That kind of thing. This one is getting pretty muddled. I'm gonna wipe it off. There's a dog hair. All right, what are we thinking? I didn't add any paint. I'm just using the paint that was on there. Spray it. I don't necessarily want drips, but if drips happen, that's dripping, and see, that's fine. I'm okay with that. If you don't like them, just take a shop towel, and you can either dab, and it'll pull back that under layer, or you can come in with kind of a damp brush and smooth it out. I don't know if I really. That over there looks pretty cool. You can even see what I'm doing. I want to bring you guys in and I want to show y'all what the vinegar water does. I'm looking at it on camera. It doesn't look the same. This needs a little bit more rebel yellow, I believe. I mean, muscadine wine, I believe. We can get that on the second coat. But let me show y'all real quick. Gosh, yours is a husky too. He's so sweet. This is what the vinegar water does. Do you see kind of how it's like real, like it's got like little holes and stuff? It kind of pulled back the paint. It almost looks veiny. That's what that vinegar water does. And my vinegar water is super strong. Mine is 50-50. So that's what it does. It just gives you, oh my gosh, it just gives you a different kind of look on your piece rather than sanding back or, you know, whatever. If y'all have questions, y'all put them in the comments. I'll come back and answer them. Just use that link. You can get any of the products that I used today. Bye. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video and want to see more, be sure to subscribe and click that bell icon to get notified when new videos are posted. Also, I typically put out a blog to show how I finish these pieces of furniture. If you head on over to my website, thepurpleposy.com, and sign up for the mailing list, you'll get notified when those blogs are posted as well.